going on, Jeromes? So, Pro Football Focus, generally frenemies of the Minnesota Vikings. Sometimes they just had the thumb down on the scale, and sometimes they're eyed. And this is one of those eyed situations where the Vikings and Josh Liskowitz put together a 7-round mock draft, and Pro Football Focus gave the Vikings just a little bit nice. Now, obviously, free agency is going to determine how the draft goes and the whole gestalt of things, but I think the Vikings absolutely knocked this one out of the park. And frankly, if this is how it goes down, sign me up, baby. We're ready to rock and roll. So up at the top at pick number 24, Tyleik Williams from The Ohio State University. He has gravitational pull. He's 6'3", 327, true blue nose tackle, although he does have some positional flexibility as well. 88.6 run defense grade, and also 43 pressures over 2 seasons. So not only can you stop the run, I feel like you can push the pocket just a little bit as well. This is what PFF wrote. Drafting Williams to go a long way towards improving a run defense that looked outmatched against Detroit in 2024. As Williams graded positively on 27.1% of run plays last season, a top 5 rate in the nation. Also, the whole case of getting a true blue nose tackle, whether it's Jordan Phillips of Maryland, J.J. Pegus, the nose tackle / running back from Ole Miss, Tyleik Williams, Kenneth Grant from Michigan, is that, hey, then you can move Harrison Phillips to 5-tech and save some wear and tear in his body, extend his career, instantly improve 2 positions, and you can be good to go there. So I love Tyleik Williams, one of my favorite players in mock drafts, and just like we have the meats, stopping the runs, all that stuff. Next, in the 3rd round pick, number 97, the comp pick, Tate Ratledge from Georgia. It's an interesting interior offensive line class. Like there's lots of hype around the tackles that are kicking inside, but Ratledge is just a true blue guard. At Rocket 69, he's got the mullet, he's got the tattoos. He's been a great 3-year starter for the Bulldogs at right guard, and he's just good, man. Ratledge specialized in pass protection. He gave up just 2 sacks and 6 quarterback hits over 3 seasons as a starter for the Bulldogs. Now, it is always a question, like, all right, so obviously Georgia racked up and stacked up. So is it Ratledge? Is it the rest of the offensive line? Is it something in conjunction? Either way, like Ratledge is going to be good to go. Like he physically capable enough to run outside zone, does also have some power in that ass at 6'6", 320, plays with good leverage despite his height, and I think that he would be a set-it-and-forget-it starter at right guard for the Vikings for long term. And getting him in the 3rd round, it's huge value. And the Vikings aren't done along the offensive line. It's great. But the other, on to day 3, 5th round, number 139, Denzel Burke from The Ohio State University. So long, lengthy corners, which is something that Flores loves, 6'1", $193, and certainly is going to test well at the combine too, is what PFF wrote. Burke's stock slid after an inconsistent 2024 season, but if he can regain his 21-23 form, he could be a steal on day 3. I think if Burke had declared last year, probably would have been a day 2 pick, 2nd, 3rd rounder, but getting him in the 5th, I think is huge value. Over his first 3 seasons at The Ohio State, he allowed just 48.8% of his passes thrown into coverage to be completed, which is good. All right, and the Vikings obviously could make some moves in free agency at corner, whether it's bringing back Murph, whether it's signing a guy like DJ Reed, but having a dude like Denzel Burke who can be racked up and stacked up on the outside as a press man corner, I like that one a lot. It's good. Also, like we said, we're not done with the offensive line. Jake Majors, one of my favorite linemen in this draft. I realize I'm wearing an Oklahoma hoodie in honor of Adrian Peterson, but Texas, come back to Texas. That's right, babe. So Jake Majors, the pride of Texas. Like Ratledge, Majors excelled in pass protection. The 4-year Texas starter allowed just 1 sack and 8 quarterback hits over his collegiate career. He is 6'3", 315, and cerebral-wise, like he has got a high football IQ. He's going to step in right away. He's going to be calling protections. He's going to be that leader of that pivot, and he could be the Viking starting center for the next 10 to 15 years. And he does remind me quite a bit of John Sullivan from back in the day, the pride of Notre Dame, also wore 6'5" for the Vikings, and just a center who's got ass. He's not gonna be pushed around or ragdolled, although he's not a behemoth like a Tate Ratledge, but he is the type of guy that's going to be a great leader out there, cerebrally, just really being the quarterback of the offensive line. And having Jake Majors in the fold, and maybe you do sign a guy like Mekhi Becton or Tevin Jenkins, or hell, maybe you got Trey Smith in there as well, and then you bring a guy like Tate Ratledge as well as Jake Majors, and then I feel like your offensive line is going to be good to go. And Tyleik Williams, even though the Vikings didn't get that blowing up a gap defensive lineman, I mean, you're bereft of draft picks right now. You got 4 picks, 1, 3, and 2 5s. But Tyleik coming in could be that nose tackle, can work with Taki and goal line. You move Harrison Phillips to the 5 tech. Maybe a free agency, you pick up a guy like Osi Odigizua, and you're going to be ready to rock and roll, man. So I ain't mad at this draft at all. And PFF finally gave the Vikings a little bit of nice. But your thoughts are thoughts. PFF 7-round mock draft. Daddy likes. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol. Production value.